Management of natural resources. Learning about water. Water for all. Water is the basic necessity for all forms of life, human beings, other animals, as well as plants. The various sources of water which are available to us are rains, rivers, lakes, ponds, wells, oceans and glaciers, that is snow mountains. Rain is a very important source of water. Rains in India are largely due to monsoon, which lasts for a few months. This means that most of the rainwater falls on the earth in a few months of the year. This rainwater fills the lakes and ponds and also flows into rivers. Some rainwater also seeps into the ground and becomes available as underground water. Despite good rains, we are not able to meet the demand for water of all the people because our population is increasing rapidly. Due to lack of sufficient vegetation covered on ground, only a little rainwater seeps into. The high-yielding varieties of crops require much more water for irrigation. Discharge of untreated sewage and industrial waste into rivers and lakes reduces the availability of usable water. The changing lifestyle of people, especially in urban areas, is consuming more water. Rivers are another important source of water. Rivers get their water supply from the melting of snow lying on the peaks of snow mountains or glaciers, as well as from rains. The management of river water is done by constructing dams on rivers. Dams. In order to make proper use of river water, dams are constructed across the rivers to regulate the flow of water. In our country, dams have been built across many rivers. The large reservoir of a dam stores a huge amount of water brought in by the flowing river. This stored water is then allowed to flow downstream at the desired rate. Bhakra Dam is one such dam which has been built across the river Satluj in the state of Punjab in our country. Dams built across the rivers are big storehouses of river water. Dams are useful for the society in the following ways. Water from a dam is used for irrigation in fields through a network of canals. Dams ensure round-the-year water supply to the crop fields and help raise agricultural production. For example, Indira Gandhi Canal originating from Bhakra Dam has brought greenery to considerable areas of Rajasthan. Water from a dam is supplied to the people in towns and cities through pipelines after suitable treatment. In this way, construction of dams ensures continuous water supply in the region. The flowing water from the dam is used for generating electricity. The water rushing down the dam turns turbines which run electric generators. The electricity thus produced is called hydroelectricity. The construction of high-rise dams for the management of river water and generation of electricity has certain problems associated with it. The public opposition to the construction of large dams on rivers is mainly due to the following three problems likely to be treated by them. Social problems. Due to the construction of high-rise dams, a large number of human settlements or villages are submerged in the water of large reservoir formed by the dam, and many people are rendered homeless. This creates a social problem. Environmental problems. The construction of high-rise dams on the rivers contributes to deforestation and loss of biodiversity. This is because of vast variety of flora and fauna that is plants and animals, get submerged in the water of large reservoir formed by the dam and disturb the ecological balance. Economic problems. Some people say that the construction of high-rise dams involves the spending of the huge amount of public money without the generation of proportionate benefits. Pollution of river water. The water in most of our rivers is highly polluted. The pollution of river water is caused by the dumping of untreated sewage and industrial waste into it. For example, the river Ganga, which flows for over 2,500 kilometers from Gangotri in the Himalayas to Gangasagar in the Bay of Bengal, is being turned into a drain by the discharge of untreated sewage and industrial waste emanating from more than 100 towns and cities which lie along its way. In addition to sewage and industrial waste, the pollution of river Ganga is also caused by other human activities like bathing, washing of clothes, immersion of ashes of the dead and dumping of unburnt corpses in its water. The industries also discharge chemical effluents into the river water. The toxicity of these chemical effluents kills the fish in many parts of the river. The contamination of river can be usually found from two factors. One, the presence of coliform bacteria in river water, and second, measurement of pH of river water. Coliform is a group of bacteria found in human intestines. The presence of coliform in the river water indicates its contamination by disease-causing microorganisms. A multi-crore Ganga Action Plan project was launched in 1985 to clean the river Ganga and make its water pollution-free. Wells and tube wells, that is bore wells, are yet another source of water. Some of the rainwater which falls on earth sips through the soil and goes down under the surface of the earth. Ultimately, this water is stopped some hard rocks and collects there. This underground water is taken out by digging a well into the ground. This is called well water. Such wells are a common sight in village areas. The deep tube wells are called bore wells, are also dug into the earth which are much deeper than the ordinary wells, and their water is drawn out by using water pumps. This water is used for the irrigation of crops and for drinking purposes. Rainwater harvesting. The people in rural India have used a large number of water collecting methods to capture as much rainwater as possible, which had fallen on their land. Some of the methods used for water harvesting by the rural people or farmers were digging of small pits and lakes, building of small earthen dams or embankments, construction of dikes, long walls of earth to trap water, construction of sand and limestone reservoirs, and setting up of rooftop water collecting units. All these methods of collecting and saving rainwater have recharged the depleting groundwater levels. We will now describe a traditional rainwater harvesting system for agriculture called Khadeen, which is used in Rajasthan. The main feature of Khadeen system of rainwater harvesting is a very long, that is 100 meter to 300 meter long earthen embankment called bund, built across the lower edge of the sloping farmland. The rainwater from the catchment area flows down the slopes and stopped by the bund to form a reservoir. The excess water flows across the bund through pathways provided for this purpose and goes into shallow well dug behind the bund. The rainwater, which collects in the reservoir formed by the bun and in the well, seeps slowly into the land or ground. This water-saturated land is subsequently used for growing the crops. Please note that the main purpose of water harvesting is not to hold rainwater on the surface of the earth, but to make rainwater percolate under the ground so as to recharge groundwater. The various advantages of water stored in the ground are as follows. The water stored in ground does not evaporate. The water stored in ground spreads out to recharge wells and provides moisture for crops over a wide area. The water stored in ground does not promote breeding of mosquitoes, unlike stagnant water collected in ponds or artificial lakes. The water stored in ground is utilized for the benefit of the local population. Rainwater harvesting in rural areas not only increase the agriculture production and income of the farmers, but also mitigates, that is, make less severe the effect of droughts and floods, and increases the life of downstream dams and reservoirs. Summary. The various sources of water which are available to us are rains, rivers, lakes, ponds, wells, oceans and glaciers, that is, snow mountains. The harnessing of water resources by building dams has social, economic and environmental implications. Alternatives to large dams exist. These are local specific and may be developed so as to give local people control over their local resources. The pollution of river water is caused by the dumping of untreated sewage and industrial waste into it. So that is all in this topic. Let us learn about coal and petroleum in our next topic. Till then, keep learning.